Hey, all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And first of all, let me just wish everyone out there watching Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Today is Christmas Eve, and Christmas came a little bit early for me thanks to Big Bad Toy Store. My new G.I. Joe Classified Battle Android figure arrived, and I thought I would throw up a quick review of the figure. I'm sure you've probably already seen reviews and pictures and stuff since people have been getting these figures for the last month or so from various places overseas and such. If you caught my news video the other day, I talked about how these are starting to trickle out at places like GameStop, Big Bad Toy Store, where they're starting to get limited numbers in. So, they are filling pre-orders as they can. Of course, not everybody has yet gotten their pre-orders filled at these places, but over time these will start to see release in greater numbers. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, you will, eventually you will without any problem. But I was lucky, I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store right before Christmas. And so let's head over to the review studio and take a closer look at the packaging, and then we'll open her up and take a look at the figure inside. Okay, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the packaging since it's pretty much the same type of packaging we see with all the classified figures. You've got the window box, the figure is clearly displayed. You've got the G.I. Joe Classified logo down below. You've got some nice artwork here on the side, and then on this side it kind of wraps around. On the other side of the packaging, it tells us this is number 33 in the series. You also get those symbols. And then on the back of the packaging, it's that same type of artwork that we see with all the figures, or at least all the regular release figures. Pretty much all of these guys that we see back here now have been given action figures. So I wonder if Hasbro will give us some new artwork going forward with future waves. But finally the Alley Vipers were, which had been on the packaging since day one, have finally gotten action figures. The bats aren't actually depicted here, so they have not yet been added to this yet. Okay, so here's a look at the bat outside the packaging along with the other contents, and you do get quite a few accessories with this figure, which is nice. You get multiple arm attachment pieces, which is kind of a signature thing with the bat. And then you also get an extra head sculpt, a battle damage head sculpt. You get some extra chest plates, and you get a backpack to hold his arm accessories as well. So very standard with what we've seen with previous Bat figures, including like the 25th anniversary one. So very similar in the way of actual accessories with this figure. Oh, and the other accessory that you get with the figure is a pistol, and this is done with just a gray plastic, and you do get a working gun holster on the figure so that you can stick that in there, and it does fit in there nice and tight. And when switching out the arm accessories, you just pop off the hands like you would normally, and then you just pop on whichever accessory that you want to use. They pop right on just like a regular alternate hand. It would have been cool if, like with this grip one, they had actually made this articulated so you could actually grip things with it. You have the like saw blade on the bottom portion, but it would have been nice if maybe they had added a little bit of articulation on this particular one. It's still cool, very signature-like, but for the bat, but it would have been nice if they had added some articulation. And then on the head sculpt, as I mentioned, you get two different head sculpts. So this is the normal one that's attached to the figure. You've got the metallic silver faceplate. I like the little vents here on the side. And then you also have this little silver plate on the back of the helmet. So overall, and that's on both sides. But then you get the battle damaged head, and you just pop it off. It does stay on there. You have to kind of pull hard to get it to pop off. But it comes off, and then you get this battle damage one. So basically you have like this big chunk taken out of the top of his helmet. You can see that left eye more, so it's pretty cool. The faceplate is all cracked up, so it looks like maybe he's gone toe-to-toe with Sergeant Slaughter or something. But that's a nice addition that they've given you that battle damage head sculpt with this figure as well. And here's a look at all the accessories in the back of the backpack. The backpack just pops in. You got the hole there on the back like you always do, and the peg, and you just plug it in. and then the hand accessories will just plug in to the backpack. You can basically, it doesn't really matter. There's little holes here, here, and then here. So you can basically fit these in any area you want. So if you want to put like this, the hand piece down here, you can pop it in, and it should work pretty good. And then also you put this one back up here, so you can basically display this however you want. I think it probably I like it better with the handpiece in up here, and then you have one of these two sticking down here. But again, it's really your preference. On this side of the backpack, you've got some sculpting with, I'm not exactly sure what these are, whatever it is, it's attached to hoses, but you have that extra sculpting detail. And then finally, they've given you the option, and I'm not entirely sure why they have these chest plates. I'm not sure what where these come from. Generally, when you see the bats, whether it's the cartoon or the comics, this portion is uncovered, but they have given you these chest plates so that you can cover up essentially the wiring on his chest. So you've got the solid one, and you got to make sure you push it in there good and make sure it snaps into place. But you've got that solid one, and then to match up with the extra head sculpt, they have also given you the battle damage one. So I know I've seen some people say that they think it would be better if they'd put like a Cobra symbol on here, but again, since I don't know what the motivation with the chest plate is, since I don't recall them actually having this area covered, it's hard to say. But you do get the Cobra symbol on the arm, which is pretty much in keeping with how the bat has always looked. So I like that they included the chest plate, but for me personally, I probably will keep it off. Now, one thing I do want to note, I do kind of like how, like on the smaller scale figure, how you have this clear plastic piece over, those components. Whereas on this figure, this is left uncovered. You've got some sculpting detail. So the green portions look like it's like a circuitry board, which is nice. And then you have like the red and the yellow and stuff, which again is in keeping with like the original Bat figures and such. This is like the 25th anniversary Bat, but this is very much in keeping with how the original figure looks. So but again, as far as the chest plate goes, it's really your preference of whether you want to keep this covered or not. But for me, I will likely keep it uncovered. And real quick, here's a look at the battle damage head sculpt along with the battle damage chest plate for that full-on battle damage look. Okay, now for the figure itself. So this is pretty much just a sized up version of the original Bat. This is the 25th anniversary Bat that Hasbro did. So almost identical in look. The primary difference between these two is just the coloring on the yellow portions. You can see it's true yellow on the smaller figure, whereas on the Bat figure it's more of an orange type color. But otherwise, it is almost identical. So, they really didn't make any real changes to this classified version. They kept the very much classic look to him, and the overall detailing is there. I like the texturing here on the midsection. That looks pretty good. And then you have like the yellow up here with the silver buckles. He's got the grenades, which are sculpted on here. As I mentioned before, he's got the Cobra symbol on the left arm. And then the lower arms are, basically made to look like, robot arms. So you've got the silver or the grayish color. It's a dark grayish metallic type color. And you have some nice sculpting detail, even with like the fingers and stuff. So I think they've done a good job with that. You've got the holster, which is a separate piece. He's got the silver belt buckle. Now, some of my silver on this figure looks like it's washed off a little bit. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but I did notice that on the belt buckle. But still, overall, looks pretty good. Yeah, and then again, here's the backpack, and that is removable if you want to take that off. And then you even have some sculpting detail here on the back. And then he's got this piece here. I'm not exactly sure what that's supposed to be, but this is a separate piece. But it is, it's a separate piece, but looks like it's glued on there. It's not going to fall down, which is nice. Sometimes when they do these kind of strap pieces that go around the thighs, they will have a tendency to fall down. But this one is definitely sculpted in place, which is good. He's got the knee pads. And then with the boots, you have the metallic silver and the orange yellow type color. You've got the pockets sculpted on there. So overall, you know, they've just done a really nice job with the figure. Okay, now this figure stands right about 6.5, maybe a little bit over 6.5 inches tall. Here's a comparison with some other Cobra Army Builder figures, the Cobra Soldier and the Cobra Viper. I don't yet have the Cobra Alley Viper to give you a comparison of that one. Here's a comparison of the classified Lady J, which to me, I kind of always think of Lady J with the Bat because I believe the first appearance of the Bat came in the Marvel Comics issue number 44, which on the cover has Lady J on the Mirage motorcycle and the Bat is trying to run her over in a semi-truck. And I believe that issue came out before we saw the bats in the cartoon. So now, unfortunately, I have to kind of hold the Lady J figure up next because the legs on this figure are really loose and she really won't stand on her own power. But you can see the size between the two is pretty good. Now, the Bat has really good articulation, so you can rotate the head all the way around. He can actually look down pretty good, and then he can look up about that much. And you also get some pivot there at the neck. So again, pretty good head movement. With the arms, you can get the arm out good. You do have that butterfly joint, so you've got good back and forth movement there at the shoulder. You've got a bicep swivel. You get double hinged elbows, so he can bend his elbows really good. With the hands, with the regular hands, you get rotation and you get the hinges, so up and down movement. Now with the weapon attachments, you get rotation, but you don't have the hinges, so just note that. You do have an ab crunch type joint, so he can crunch forward about that much, and then he can look back about that much. And then you also get a waist swivel, and you get a little pivot to the left and the right, but you know, again, overall not too bad. Now with the legs, you can get the legs, he can do the splits really good. You can pull the legs down out from the crotch section, so you can get the leg up really good as well, and then you can do the leg back. Now with the holster on this left leg, you know, that limits it a little bit, but not too much. You get a thigh swivel with these, and then you also get double hinge knees. So again, you get really good bending there. You get a boot cuff swivel, and then you have hinges on the feet, so up and down movement. And of course, you do get ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. So overall, I think this is a fantastic figure. I've got no real complaints about it. Very much in keeping with the original smaller scale ones. I guess if there was anything I could change about this classified figure is I would like to see the more traditional yellow as opposed to this kind of orangey yellow color. Like on the original, that was, you know, this is a much more yellow type here on the belt and boots and everything. So very minor complaint, but if I had a choice, I do like the regular yellow as opposed to this orangey yellow. But still, great figure. One I think a lot of people are definitely going to want an army build. Now, as I mentioned previously, I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store. I've also heard some people get their pre-orders from GameStop already. These are trickling out in very limited numbers still because of all the shipping issues. I just heard that Amazon had opened pre-orders for the figure just this week, and I heard some people have started to get shipping notifications from Amazon as well. So these will continue as time goes on, will trickle out more and more. If you have them pre-ordered, you will definitely get them. They're not going to be hard to get. I would probably go the pre-order route just because it will probably be hard. You know, if you're just hoping to walk into a Target or Walmart, you know, finding them there might be a little more difficult. But you know, if you're willing to pre-order online and such, you can definitely order as many of these as you want. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the figure down in the comments section below. And if you're so inclined, please think about liking this video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, stay safe out there. Have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. And until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.